Fault Milestone 1 was a visual novel I was very much looking forward to get, and after a friend told me he was going to get it to me on Steam as a gift, I was pretty anxious to try it out, as I've heard lots of great things about Fault Milestone 1. But 2 chapters in, I just didn't manage to find Fault Milestone 1 too interesting. It had all the ingredients for me to like the visual novel itself, but what it lacked was a reason. A reason for me to get invested in these characters, a reason for me to care, a reason for me not to be bored. Before I go on to elaborate why I didn't like FMO that much, let me go over the positive things I have to say about this visual novel. It has an amazing art style, which does a good job of replicating the Japanese/anime art style. I feel like a lot of passion and love went into drawing this entire visual novel. From all the colorful backgrounds to the unique individual characters, it all looks very pleasing to the eye. Especially those special scenes, for example, Utona vs. Coco. I also feel like the soundtrack of this game is just fantastic. It's all so full of energy, fitting each and every scene so well. It's so good, I wish I could purchase the soundtrack really. I'd play a sample or two, but Sekai Project doesn't allow it, which sucks. And lastly, from the 2 or so chapters I've read through, the story has an interesting enough premise and seems to be pretty good. But that's about it. Now, what did I mean by it's not giving me a reason to like it? You love the way it looks, you love the way it sounds, and you like how the story so far is set up. So, what gives? Here's my answer. I don't like the way it's executed. Now, I understand that visual novels in a nutshell are supposed to be books, just presented in a different way. I understand that completely well. But I've played other visual novels before. For example, Planetarian Reverie of a Little Planet is one of them, and the way those visual novels kept me interested is with the way they were executed. The visual novel parts were slightly animated and fully voiced, which kept my mind active whilst reading them, and it helped me imagine a more, I guess you could say, alive atmosphere. And Fault Milestone 1 is not animated, nor is it voice acted. The characters are completely silent 100% of the time, while you watch a picture of a character change to match the situation with the BGM playing. I can understand why they left this out though. I mean, getting voice actors, and I guess you could call it animators, for a game must be very expensive, and I'm certain they omitted this because they just wouldn't be able to afford it. This is just my personal preference, to be quite honest. I also don't like a few of the character designs. Once again, nitpicking. I said before that I loved how this visual novel looks, but there are a few character designs that I just don't like. Here's what I mean. This is Melano, the leader of the bad guys of the story, and this is how we see her for the first time. Looks really freaking sweet, right? And then, this is how she looks from the in-game visual novel cutscenes. Suddenly, it feels like that creepy, villainous vibe I got from the first picture turned into more of this old woman's Joker's vibe. And those 2 reasons alone are why I just didn't find Fault Milestone 1 a very interesting visual novel to continue reading on. So, in conclusion, the reason I'm giving Fault Milestone 1, I guess you could call it a negative review, is because I'm not a fan of the silent execution, and the character designs leave too different of an impression each time. The entire silent approach with the background music playing makes my mind fall asleep. I lose interest, and is solely the reason why I don't recommend it. But if you don't mind having a totally silent visual novel as well as non-animated cutscenes, then honestly, go for it and buy it. Like I said, the story, at least from the 2 or so chapters I've played through, is so far really interesting. It's set up not too badly, admittedly a bit too much pointless exposition on how this world's magic works. The songs themselves are just pure sex to the ears, and the art style, besides the aforementioned character designs, is really good. The complaints I have about this visual novel are just personal ones, and please, don't let this video make you decide whether or not to buy this game. I was merely offering my explanation on why I didn't enjoy Fault Milestone 1 as much as I thought I would. Now then, will I read more of this visual novel in the future? It's hard to say, but I'm certain that one day I will finish it. And who knows, maybe when I get around to doing that, my views on FMO might change. Thanks for watching my video. Remember that I'm still only just starting this channel, so any feedback you leave in the comments is very appreciated. All ratings are also very appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Later.